It's a new year and a new chance for you to make a fresh start with your compliance. For it, we're going to be bringing you a daily tip, strategy, or idea that you can use to improve your program. Here's your host, Tom Fox, the Compliance Evangelist.
Day 15, the ROI of a speak-up culture. We are now at a place where there is sufficient data, academic research, and actual use cases from corporations and businesses that demonstrate good ethics and compliance programs are not simply good for business, but when properly used, they lead to greater profitability. For 15 years, Ethisphere has been collecting data around its world's most ethical company awards. Companies which receive this designation have been found to outperform their peers on various stock indices. Ethisphere calls this the ethics premium. Erica Salmon-Byrne has noted in tracking how stock prices of publicly traded honorees compare to U.S. large cap index, we found that listed world's most ethical companies outperform the large cap sector. In 2010, the number was a delta of 4.5%, yet by 2020, that number had skyrocketed to 13.5%. Clearly, Ethisphere has been on to something. Academic research has also shown the efficacy of ethics and compliance programs. George Seraphim and Paul Healy, in a paper entitled An Analysis of Firms' Self-Reported Anti-Corruption Efforts, said companies with robust compliance programs do better financially in countries prone to corruption than companies with less effective compliance programs. Without a robust compliance program, even high sales in a high-risk country, the sales will drop off and lead to a negative return of equity of between 24 to 30%. Dr. Kyle Welch, along with Stephen Steuben, authored the paper Evidence on the Use and Efficacy of Internal Whistleblowing Systems. In this paper, Welch and Steuben reviewed 15 years of anonymized data from Navex Global. This data was from the company's hotline reporting systems. Some of the key findings included that the companies with a robust whistleblower and reporting system had a greater profitability and workforce productivity as measured by return on assets. And there were fewer material lawsuits brought against the companies overall, and there were lower settlement costs if a lawsuit did occur. Finally, there were fewer external whistleblower reports to regulatory agencies and other authorities. All of this leads to the key finding of a reduction in material litigation cost. And remember, this is not simply civil litigation, but all reportable proceedings against a company, including regulatory enforcement actions, criminal sanctions brought by the Department of Justice, and other court proceedings. A material proceeding would have to be 5% of a company's gross margin. So that amount could be quite high if you're a multinational, multi-billion-dollar U.S. public company. Companies with robust whistleblower reporting systems also had 4% fewer lawsuits in the year after increased hotline activity, improving to 6.9 fewer material lawsuits over the next 3 years. Additionally, overall litigation settlements of non-material matters dropped almost 20% over those 3 years as well. But the story does not end with data, numbers, or even academic research. The corporate world is full of tales where a compliance solution was delivered, which not only made compliance more effective, but improved business process and efficiency and greater profitability. Data and information collected, which might initially begin as a compliance solution or project, can be used to improve business process efficiency. It can also be the case where the delivery of a compliance solution can improve an overall business process. When you start to consider the compliance data points in every organization, from quote to cash, sales cycle, to procure to pay, procurement cycle, you begin to see how compliance can be used to improve business efficiency and lead to greater profitability. Together with Sam the bottom line is when you create a culture of trust, it generates loyalty, your corporate it generates passion, and it generates a software tool called employees are engaged and they want to give their best and give their all. Measures they are looking at opportunities to prove themselves within an organization to give you a holistic view of what have a robust culture of speak up corporate culture, as we have discussed, throughout taken podcast series.
Online,
You'll have motivated
each
employee
employee
only
who can
spending about
communicate
10
the
to
business.
15 minutes for the entire
Efficiencies,
survey.
upgrades,
It will provide
and
you
new
with
ideas
for greater profitability.
a data set
Trust
of
is a
data
vital
points of where your
component of creating a
corporation
productive
culture
and
is
passionate
today,
corporate
and
culture.
some
Disrespect
recommendations
can
that we
damage
both
trust
have
and lead to a
for you
breakdown
to
in
improve your corporate culture.
employee
With
relationships.
the Department of Justice
when employees feel trusted,
mandating
they are empowered and
that
motivated to give
it
their
will
best.
assess corporate
This
culture as
generates
part
loyalty,
of
passion,
any
and
FCPA
productivity,
enforcement
creating a
action.
company culture
It's a
that
tool
thrives and
that
excels.
will allow you to begin
Trust
this
is not
process.
only morally
If
right,
you'd like
but it's
more
financially
information,
smart,
please
as it
contact
reduces
me
worker
at tfox
engagement,
at
disengagement, and
tfoxlaw.com.
turnover cost. Having a robust ethos of speak up in your organization will only drive better overall corporate culture. So what are today's 3 key takeaways? Number 1, it is not simply speaking up, it's an entire culture of speak up. Number 2, companies with a speak up culture have a material reduction in legal fines and penalties. And number 3, companies with speak up have a higher ROI. This is Tom Fox again. I'd like to tell you about an exciting new tool that I've developed together with Sam Silverstein from the Accountability Institute to help you assess your corporate culture. The tool is a software tool called the Culture Audit. The Culture Audit measures 16 different points within an organization to give you a holistic view of what the employees think of your corporate culture. It can be taken online, with each employee only spending about 10 to 15 minutes for the entire survey. It will provide you with a set of data points of where your corporation culture is today and some recommendations that we both have for you to improve your corporate culture. With the Department of Justice mandating that it will assess corporate culture as part of any FCPA enforcement action, it's a tool that will allow you to begin this process. If you'd like more information, please contact me at tfox@tfoxlaw.com.
For listening to this episode of 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance Program.